It all began in a way that seemed harmless. My wife, Rachel, had always been the kind of person who thrived in social situations. She loved attention, and I never minded. It was part of what drew me to her in the first place. Her laugh could light up an entire room, and people seemed to gravitate toward her naturally. But at some point, her hunger for attention outgrew the boundaries of our marriage. One Saturday night, we hosted a dinner party, something Rachel adored. She insisted on handling every detail herself. The menu, the decorations, even who sat where. This was her element, and I was content to let her run the show. Among our guests were a few close friends and some of her work colleagues. One of them was Derek, a smug, self-satisfied man who radiated arrogance. I had never liked him, but Rachel brushed off my concerns, assuring me he was harmless. The evening began well enough. Wine poured freely, conversations grew louder, and the house was filled with laughter. I was in the kitchen refilling drinks when I caught Rachel's voice from across the room. She and her best friend, Emily, were tucked into a corner, speaking in low, secretive tones. Normally, I wouldn't have paid them any attention, but there was something in Rachel's tone, an excited, almost giddy pride, that made me pause. "Have you seen Derek? That man is a god. And let me tell you, Emily, he knows how to use it," she said, giggling like a schoolgirl. I froze where I stood. My chest tightened, my pulse thundered, and for a moment, I thought I'd misheard her. But then Emily let out a sharp, stunned breath. "Rachel, are you serious? What about James?" she asked quietly, her voice tinged with disbelief. "Oh, please," Rachel scoffed. "James is fine, but he's boring. Predictable. Derek is something else. And he's huge. James could never." She didn't finish the sentence, but she didn't have to. The meaning was a blade driven straight into me. There I was, in my own home, hosting a party for friends, while my wife boasted about her affair as if it were a trophy. The humiliation was suffocating. I wanted to confront her right then and there. But instead, I forced myself to think. I set the wine bottle down, returned to the party, and played the role of the gracious host, even laughing and chatting with Derek. Inside, though, I was crumbling. I needed the whole truth before I made my move. Over the next week, I became consumed by the need to uncover everything. I dug through phone logs, email accounts, anything I could access. What I found left no doubt: explicit texts, intimate photos, lunch meetings that were more than just work-related. The betrayal was undeniable, but I wasn't going to just shout and argue. No, I wanted her to feel the weight of what she had done. I wanted the truth to be undeniable and public. I hired a private investigator to gather evidence I could not be accused of fabricating. That's when I learned Derek had a wife, Lisa, who had just given birth to their first child. I reached out to her anonymously, sending the proof I had. She was devastated, but also grateful that I had told her. And together, we decided the truth would come out, on our terms, in a way neither Rachel nor Derek could escape. Neither Derek nor Rachel had any idea what was about to happen. 2 weeks later, Rachel hosted another dinner party. She seemed cheerful and carefree, completely oblivious to the storm about to hit. I made sure Derek received an invitation. He arrived in his usual cocky manner, flashing me a smug grin as he walked in. I kept my composure, knowing this had to be timed perfectly. Halfway through the evening, I tapped my glass to get everyone's attention. "Everyone, may I have a moment? I want to share something special." Rachel's face lit up, likely assuming I was about to give some heartfelt speech. The chatter died down as I connected my laptop to the TV. "Rachel has always been the light of my life," I began, speaking evenly despite the anger simmering beneath the surface. "But recently, I found out she's been sharing that light with someone else." Confused looks spread around the room. Rachel's smile faltered. "James, what are you talking about?" she asked nervously, forcing a laugh. Without answering, I pressed play. The TV screen lit up with screenshots, her text messages with Derek, explicit and undeniable. Gasps rippled through the room. Derek's confident smirk vanished, replaced by a sickly pale expression. Rachel stood abruptly, her face burning red. "James, stop this right now," she demanded. I ignored her. The final blow was yet to come. Photos from a private investigator of Rachel and Derek at a hotel, holding each other in a way that left no room for doubt. The timestamps were clear. The room erupted in murmurs and whispers. Emily looked like she might throw up. Derek's wife, Lisa, whom I had deliberately invited, rose to her feet. "You disgust me," she spat at Derek. "You lied to me, to our family. And this is what you do? With her?" She pointed directly at Rachel, who was now crying uncontrollably. "Lisa, please, let me explain." Derek started, but Lisa cut him off sharply. "Explain? You think there's an explanation for this?" She turned to me. "Thank you. You've actually done me a favor." With that, she walked out, Derek scrambling after her. Silence fell over the room. All eyes were on Rachel, trembling and desperate. "James, please," she pleaded. "Let's talk about this privately." "Privately?" I said. "You openly bragged about him in our home at a party I helped you host. You didn't care about humiliating me, so now you can deal with this in front of everyone." She sank into a chair, covering her face. No one rushed to comfort her. The shock and betrayal were too fresh for anyone to feel sympathy. In the days that followed, she tried everything to win me back, begging, crying, even blaming me for not being exciting enough. I was unmoved. I filed for divorce. When we split our assets, I made sure the truth was clear to everyone. She lost her friends, her reputation, and the life we built together. Derek didn't escape unscathed either. Lisa divorced him and left him with nothing, and the scandal destroyed his career. As for me, I'm moving on. It's not simple, but there's a deep, quiet satisfaction in knowing I stood up for myself and refused to be treated like a doormat. While Rachel and Derek try to rebuild their shattered lives, I'm creating something better, without them.